Okay, so I beaten the main story. As I said in my last video, I hadn't beaten it yet, but I beaten the main story. I know I haven't done the post game yet, but I'm just gonna review the main story because the post game's more just extra fun, really. But yeah, we're just gonna review the main story, like I said. So today I'm doing my review of Pokemon Legends ZA. Just quickly before we begin, I just want to say that none of these screenshots are actually mine because I couldn't be bothered sending them to my laptop. So just so you know, all right, let's continue. Okay, so this is gonna be a hot take. My first thing, this is the first Pokemon game I've actually liked in a very long time. Cause I think ever since Pokemon went to Switch, like I said in my last video, they've just kind of had a problem that they've not been able to sort really. Although to be fair, this game also is part of that problem, but at least this one's actually fun. You know, it's not boring, it's not handholdy that much, it's not long. It's actually just the right amount of handholdy and enjoyable for me. So yeah, this was a really good one. I really enjoyed this. Like honestly, Game Freak, you did it this time. Yeah, you really gone done did it. This was gonna make or break Pokemon for me. So I'm really glad to say that I am happy with how the game turned out, and I very much enjoyed it. And here's another hot take. I think the graphics are so much better than Scarlet and Violet. Um, people, I think I've said this, I think I said this in the last video, but people have argued with me about Scarlet and Violet and how they're not really, like, because I do not like Scarlet and Violet's art style or graphics at all. I think they are terrible. But a lot of people swear by it that they're really amazing looking games. No, they're not. They're hideous. They just look empty. They feel empty. I don't want to play Pokemon and feel empty. I want to play Pokemon and feel, like, adventurous, you know? And I definitely got that from this game. Like, sure, it only takes place in one city, Lumio City, which, for those who are not Pokemon fans, is the Pokemon World version of Paris. So, just so you know. But yeah, just because it takes place in that one place, it doesn't mean that it's not fun and adventurous, you know? Like, it took me a while to beat the game because I was just exploring everything and doing side quests. Like, that's how fun it was. I haven't done that for a long time, you know? Actually, I'm going to steal this quote from my friend. My friend was also in the same place as me, where they weren't sure if they wanted to play this game, and they kind of feel unsure about the future of Pokemon. But when they started playing this, they said that they haven't enjoyed the game as much since Breath of the Wild. So that is high praise right there. There you go. Also, it has a new battle mechanic, which was a first. This is one that people have been asking for a long time. Where it's real time battles instead of turn based. So instead of like Pikachu use Thunderbolt, it's super effective, and then Vaporeon use Bubble Beam. It's not very effective, and it's like actually like full on. They use Thunderbolt and Bubble Beam at the exact same time, and whoever hits first gets the hit. You can also dodge as well, which is a first. I mean, technically that's not true because you can avoid attacks as well in the older games, but this is the first time where you actually have to make your Pokemon dodge itself. Because you get to walk about the battlefield and your Pokemon moves with you, so it moves while you move. So if you move to dodge an attack, it'll move to dodge an attack, but you have to time it well. But you also need to be careful because when a Pokemon's using an attack, it can't move, so it also leaves it open. So yeah, that was really fun as well. I didn't think I was going to like that, but honestly, this was a really refreshing take on the whole battle stuff, so I really enjoyed that. Also, the music was amazing. Wow, this is some of the best music we've had in Pokemon for ages. A lot of it was remixed from X and Y, since this is a sequel to X and Y, but that's alright, I expected that. There was one that really almost got me, because they play AZ's, like, song in the game, and from his backstory, and the backstory made me cry when I first played X and Y. So that kind of made me relive that. So yeah. It's funny, it was actually 10 years ago I first played X and Y, so there you go. Quite funny that I've come a full circle here. Like, yeah. I'm going to talk about this being a sequel to Kalos in a little bit, so I'll save that for now, but yeah, the music was amazing. Definitely 10 out of 10 music. Okay, so I need to like make this clear that the keyword is most, because most of the characters were really fun. I like Tony. I picked the male character, so I got Tony. Is her name Tony or Tony? I don't know. They're all French names. I'm really sorry if I mispronounce them. Then there's also, I think, Abby, or is it Addie? No, it's Abby, who is very not Tierno sister at all. Definitely no relation there. And my favorite of all the rivals is Naveen. I love Naveen so much. Like, he doesn't really do anything in the grand scale of things, but I love him. And he's also the very first black rival that we've ever had, so there you go. I really enjoyed them all. There's also Corbo, who is the leader of the mafia. That was dark. And there's also Ivor and his sister, whose name I've forgotten. I'm sorry. Ivor was kind of annoying and reminded a lot of people of Barry. So yeah. And I'm sorry. I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, and I'm sorry for that. Jacinthe, Jacinthe. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know, but I hate her. I love her design, but I hate her so much. She's so annoying. But that's not all the characters, but that's all the ones I'm going to talk about right now because there's a lot. But my favorite thing about each character though is that they all foreshadow their mega evolution in their design, and that is so awesome. Like because Abby has like a Staryu shirt and she has a Mega Starmie, and then Naveen has a Mega Scrafty, and he's got Scrafty on his jacket, and then hang on, who else? Oh yeah, Ivor has a Mega Phalanx, and he's got a Phalanx backpack, and his hair's in the shape of the Phalanx formation, so that's really cool. I like that, and Ivor's sister has a Mega Chandelure, and she's got a Chandelure hat, so I think that's really cool. Her name's Gwen. Her name's Gwen. There you go, Gwen. Okay, glad I remembered that. Also, there's some like good features that I really appreciate, like the fact you can catch Pokemon when they faint now. So when you faint a Pokemon, you get a few seconds to throw the ball and catch it. Sometimes they still break out, which doesn't make sense, and then that's it gone. But it's still better than it was. I'm really glad because if you accidentally faint a Pokemon, you can be like, oh, well, just need to throw the ball and hope I catch it. Also, just a tip, if you find a shiny, save the game first and then catch it. So if you fail, then you can just reset the game and it'll still be there. Just a little tip for you there. That's what I did when I was doing my Pokédex. So yeah, but yeah, that is one of my favorite features in this game. I love that. Thank you for adding that. There's also no PP. That's power points. So depending on a move, like that's how many times you can use it. So I think Thunderbolt has 10 PP. But they're not in the game. Instead, your move cools down. So if you use Thunderbolt, you have to wait a few seconds before you can use it again. But it's unlimited, to quote Elphaba. So yeah, I really like that as well. That's a nice change as well. Really love that. I think I said this, but the city feels so alive and lived in. Unlike literally every city from Scarlet and Violet, which are empty and lifeless. Like, okay, there's a lot of buildings you can't enter in this game, to be fair, but all the people you can interact with, all the side missions, like just the whole vibe of the game in general, the city feels alive, and that's what I wanted. I was so worried that like the city was going to feel empty and lifeless, and it was going to be boring since it's only in one city. But nope, this is exactly what I wanted in this game, and I'm so happy with it. Like honestly, it's incredible. I don't like. Maybe you don't agree because I have seen people say that it's boring just doing all in one city, but I disagree. All right. I love this game so much. Like the city was amazing. We also get to see a few old characters from the original X and Y since this is a sequel. We get to see AZ obviously. He's one of the main characters. Something happens to him in the end. I'm not gonna say that yet. I'm so glad that Game Freak finally used his Floette for something though, because they just forgot all about it really. I mean, X and Y was just forgotten about in general because it's the only Pokemon game. Not now, but back then it was the only Pokemon game to not have a sequel. So a lot of things were just completely abandoned in that generation, or just shoved into the next generation for absolutely no reason. Zygarde. But yeah, AZ was always one of the most mysterious characters, so I'm glad he got more development, and I'm glad that we got to see more of his Floette. We also got to see Emma, who was Luca's like apprentice in the original X and Y, and now she's just a full-on detective, which is cool. And she's wearing the outfit she wore in the original games. That's so awesome. I love that detail. She also has a picture of Luca and the Team Flare scientist in her room, which I like. We also see Mabel as well, which I didn't expect. There's a funny thing though, because like she talks about how she was part of Team Flare, but like she's doing like community service basically by being a professor now. And she says that she doesn't advertise that she's a part of Team Flare, but like literally her chair and her laptop both have the Team Flare logo on it. So it's like, you literally are. That's so funny. It's nice to see that she's changed her ways though. I mean, she was kind of my favorite member of Team Flare, I guess, but that's only because she was blue, and I like blue. And then also we see Lysander again, which I never expected, because I genuinely thought he died. The characters do talk about how they all thought he died, and how no one forgave him after what he did in the first X and Y. He's clearly been injured as well, because one of his eyes is closed. I think it might be missing, to be fair. He just goes by L in this game, though, which I find funny. Obviously, like, to hide his identity, but I knew it instantly it was him. Like, it was so obvious. So, yeah, that actually caught me off guard, that was really a nice twist. There's also missions in this game, which I kind of talked about, but there's one mission that did get on my nerves. It's when Ivor is looking for Gwyn, because you can't battle him until you find Gwyn, because Gwyn has his phone, and he needs the phone to, like, register the battle. And it was a scavenger hunt, and it just felt more like a side quest than a main quest. It was really annoying. We had to go into sewer to find her. Like, I mean, maybe some people found it fun, but I didn't. I mean, at least we got to go in the sewer and I got to catch some more Pokemon, like, because I caught Scraggy there, and I love Scraggy. And also there's a Goomy in there as well, so yeah. But still, that was a bit much, I think, yeah. I don't have a lot, I have mostly nice things to say about the game, but there will be a couple bad things here and there, obviously. Also, I haven't talked about this yet, but the reason it's called Legends ZA is because you're part of like a battle tournament called what the hell is it called? I've totally forgotten. I've actually forgotten what it's called. Well, you take place in battle zones, and you start at Z rank, and then you work your way up through all the different letters, obviously. But I do get this, to be fair, because it probably would have been boring if you had to keep doing the battle zones. But there's one part where you battle someone who's like way higher rank than you, and when you win, you get boosted up to F rank from like V rank or something. So I get why they did it to save some time, but I don't know. That felt a bit like cheap, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because you're literally getting from V to F in like an instant. And then the rest you have to do yourself, to be fair. But yeah, that felt like a cheat, in my opinion. Also, I talked about it before, but there's a part in the game where you're in debt with the mob because you live in a hotel that your AZ and your friends are running, but you're literally the only guest, and Tony takes out a loan with Corbo and the mafia. So that caught me off guard. That was really dark. And then you end up having to do, like, stuff for them to clear your debt, which is even funnier. So yeah, I don't know what that was about. He ends up liking you and clearing the debt at the end, which is nice. But still, that caught me off guard. Like, I can't lie. That was quite shocking, yeah. But it was fine. It was fine. Also, there are Mega Raids in this one as well. They're called Rogue Megas, but I just call them Mega Raids because that's literally what they are. And they were quite easy, I'm not gonna lie, they were really easy. In fact, I think the alphas, like, because there's alphas throughout the region. They're like basically Pokemon, but their eyes glow red and they're stronger. But Mega Pokemon might be stronger than them, but they were really easy. I did not, I mean, I did struggle a couple of times where I died, but aside from that, they were very easy and I didn't really struggle that much, to be honest. The hardest one was Barbarical, to be honest. Like, I don't know if anyone else agrees with me there, but yeah, that was the hardest one. But I enjoyed them. They were quite long as well, to be fair, but it's fine. And of course, there's a lot of references to the original X and Y. I should have wrote them down. I can't really name them. I mean, literally, they talk about the letters X and Y in one scene, and I was like, oh, there you go. You also go back into Lysander's lab, which is now a maze and abandoned, and now it's full of Pokemon. They talk about the stuff that happened in the original game, because it takes place 5 years after that, so that's cool. It talks about how, like, AZ built the ultimate weapon 3,000 years ago to revive his Floette, but in his Floette realized that he killed Pokemon to take their life force. So yeah, a lot of that happening. So yeah, there was quite a few references for the original X and Y. I mean, the painting of Lucre as well, like I said, and then also a painting of Professor Sycamore. So yeah, I can't name all the references on the top of my head though. Maybe I'll look through them all and make a video. I will say, there is one thing that the game should have had, and that was some kind of riding mechanic, because I think this is the first Pokemon game that doesn't have any form of, like, riding whatsoever. Because in other Pokemon games, you get a bike, and you can also ride Pokemon when you surf or fly. Or then in Pokemon Sun and Moon, you just full-on ride Pokemon in general. And then in Legends Arceus, you ride Pokemon. And then on Scarlet and Violet, you get the Legendary, who turns into a bike, and you can literally ride it all over the region. So yeah, this is the first Pokemon game that doesn't have any kind of riding whatsoever, and I don't get why. Like, I feel like a bike or even roller skates would be perfect in this game, you know? Or some kind of ride Pokemon as well. Like, you just fast travel everywhere, and there's also, like, holo elevators to get up on the roof, because there's a lot of holograms in this game. So yeah, that was a missed opportunity there, in my opinion. Should have had a bike. Okay, so I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong again. I'm sorry. Jackinith. And one part does like a mini tournament within the tournament, where basically every trainer you've battled up until this point enters, and you have to fight them all again and then fight her. And I'm sorry, she's so annoying. Why is she so annoying? Like, she's meant to be like this rich girl who's like the total opposite to you, because she runs a big successful hotel while like you run the rundown hotel. But still, she's so up herself, and I hate her. And I hate her Mega Clefable. What the fuck is that thing? It's probably strong, sure, but I hate it still. But yeah, and then for some reason you have to battle Zygarde before you battle her, and it's like, okay, fine, you have to battle Zygarde, I don't have a problem with that, but why there? Like, why right there? That was a weird placement for that, and I don't like it. Like, should have happened after that, in my opinion. I guess the wild areas, to be fair, They were fun. I guess they could have been a little bit better though. I don't know. I was wondering how they were going to implement Pokemon into this game, considering it takes place in a city. It was quite dark actually, because the company that is making the wild areas for the Pokemon to live in, they block the whole area off with holographic barriers so you can't walk through them. But they literally force people out of their homes for it. Like, there's abandoned buildings there that clearly people lived in until they did that. So that's really dark. Oh my god. I don't know what to say about that. So that was quite messed up, and it's never actually, because characters talk about it here and there, but it's not really resolved, to be honest. People just accept that they've been throwing out their homes in favor of wild areas for Pokemon. So yeah, like, some of the selection of Pokemon you can get is quite cool, but yeah, I just feel like they could have been implemented a little better. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip to the end. So when you become rank A, and so does Tony as well, that's when you have to defeat. So it turns out that AZ didn't just build one weapon; he built two weapons. One of them is in Prism Tower. I generally do believe that this was recycled from the original Pokemon Z that was cancelled. I have no doubt that that game did exist. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way in hell that game never existed. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, you have to go to the tower, and then it ends up exploding with Mega Energy and making Pokemon Mega Evolve all over the city. And then every rival you've faced up until this point helps you defeat them all. And some of them almost die as well, which is quite funny. And then, like, when you finally get to the tower, you and Zygarde... Well, actually, no. First, Tawny and Floette have to go in the tower, and Floette Mega Evolves and connects with the tower because she's, like, the thing that powers it. But then it goes berserk and destroys everything, and big vines come out of it, and... You know what's really funny, actually? This exact thing happened in Pokemon XYZ anime, which is more proof that Pokemon Z was meant to be a thing, because the anime still went ahead and did what the plan was with the big vines and Zygarde. So obviously they've revived the idea. Like, you can find me in the comments all you want. I believe that, and I don't care. But anyway, back on track. So you have to fight the vines, and then when you kill each vine, you get to control Zygarde for a second and use its moves, and then. Who would have thought this? Because Zygarde gives you a pebble, and it Mega Evolves into a cannon. Yay! So obviously I totally saw this coming. It wasn't even like, oh my god. So Zygarde now has like 5 different forms. Technically 7, but you don't really count the cells. So anyway, Mega Zygarde destroys the Prism Tower, and then ends up, everything is okay, blah blah blah. And then, I actually kind of like the way Prism Tower looks now. It looks more like the actual Eiffel Tower. And then obviously the prism in the name was obviously foreshadowing the fact that it was literally a prism about to explode all of Kalos. So yeah. And then, at the end, I never saw this coming, AZ dies. So yeah, AZ is immortal. He's been around for 3,000 years, and I never expected that to happen at all. That was actually a twist. Like, Pokemon have alluded to dead people before and dead Pokemon, but this is the first time we actually saw it happen. I guess that's not true, because we saw Cubone's mum, but whatever. Yeah, this was quite dark, and it actually made me feel a bit sad, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it just ends of all the characters at his grave saying how they're gonna honor him by running the hotel. So that was dark. Yeah. Don't really know if there's anything else to say, really. I don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, that's my review of Legends ZA. And I just need to say one last thing. The fact we had to wait 12 years for a sequel to Generation 6 is ridiculous. It's literally, until now, the only Pokemon game that never got a sequel. But it has one now, so we're fine. But let me know what you thought of Legends ZA in the comments down below. And if I just spoiled everything for you, why are you watching this video? That's on you. And I'll see you next time. Bye!